If you ever find yourself driving through rural Pennsylvania, you'll notice something about the back roads. They get quiet in a way that feels intentional, like the world is holding its breath. I found the bridge by accident. Locals call it Morrow Bridge, though it doesn't show up on most GPS maps. It stretches over a black, slow-moving river about 20 miles outside Pittsburgh. Rusted iron rails, cracked concrete, no lights, and no guardrails on the water side. They say it was built in 1928. They say it was the site of a bus crash in the winter of 1953. They say a lot of things. I didn't believe any of it. Not at first. I was driving home from a late storytelling gig. Midnight crowd. Good energy. I took a shortcut to avoid highway construction. That's when my headlights hit the sign. Bridge ices before roadway. The sign was half rotted, leaning at an angle. The temperature outside was 67 degrees. Still, a chill slid up my spine as I rolled onto the bridge. The tires made a hollow sound against the concrete. Halfway across, my radio cut to static. No warning. No fading. Just a violent burst of white noise that filled the car. Then, a sound inside the static. Children laughing. Soft. Distant. Like it was underwater. I gripped the wheel. Very funny, I muttered, assuming it was interference. That's when I saw them. In my rearview mirror. Headlights behind me. A large vehicle. Too tall to be a pickup. Box-shaped. Old-fashioned. It was following close. Too close. Its lights were yellow. Dim, like they weren't meant for this century. I glanced forward. The bridge suddenly looked longer. Far longer than it had any right to be. I pressed the gas. My engine responded, but the end of the bridge didn't get closer. In the mirror, the vehicle gained. And then I saw it clearly. An old school bus. Rounded hood. Steel body. Rust eating through the sides. The words County Schools barely visible on the peeling paint. The windshield was cracked. And inside. Children. Dozens of them. All staring forward. Not moving. Not blinking. Their skin was gray. Their clothes soaked. Water streamed down the inside of the bus windows. But the road was dry. The river below was calm. The bus got closer. I could see the driver now. A woman. Her hair piled high in a 1950s style. Skin bloated and pale. Her eyes were white. Not rolled back. Just white. She smiled. And the bus accelerated. My car shook as something slammed into my rear bumper. The impact didn't feel solid. It felt soft. Like hitting a body. I screamed and floored it. The bridge stretched endlessly ahead. My gas gauge dropped to empty in seconds. The radio static sharpened. The laughter turned to screaming. Children screaming for help. Then choking. Then silence. The bus rammed me again. This time, my rear windshield cracked. I could smell river water. Mud. Rot. I looked down at the floor of my car. Water seeped in around my shoes. Impossible. We were still on the bridge. Weren't we? I glanced over the side. There was no river. No ground. Just darkness. The bridge wasn't over water anymore. It was suspended over nothing. The bus pulled alongside me. Metal grinding against metal. The driver turned her head slowly, joints popping as she did. Up close, her smile was wrong. Too wide. Her lips had split at the corners. Water poured from her mouth as she spoke. You didn't stop. I shook my head. What? Her voice gurgled like it was coming from deep underwater. You passed us. And suddenly, I wasn't on the bridge anymore. I was on that same road, but years earlier. Snow covered everything. The bridge was iced over. Ahead of me, the school bus had spun sideways. Children pounding on the windows. The bus teetering over the edge. And I was in my car. Watching. Not moving. Not helping. The memory didn't belong to me. But it felt like it did. The bus tipped. It fell. The screams cut off when it hit the river below. Darkness swallowed everything. Then I was back. On the bridge. Present day. The ghost bus began forcing my car toward the side without a guardrail. The concrete crumbled beneath my tires. "You don't stop," the driver whispered. "You stay." The children inside the bus slowly turned their heads toward me in perfect unison. Their mouths opened. Water flooded out. And I realized the truth. The bridge doesn't haunt everyone. It only appears to drivers who, at some point in their lives, kept going when they should have stopped. A hit and run. A stranded motorist. A broken down car you didn't pull over for. The bus finds you. And it makes you relive the moment you chose yourself over someone else. Until the bridge takes you too. The next morning, authorities reported my car was found half submerged in the river beneath Morrow Bridge. No skid marks. No damage consistent with another vehicle. They said I must have lost control. They said the bridge can be dangerous at night. They didn't mention the second set of tire tracks that stopped abruptly at the edge. As if a much larger vehicle had been there. And then simply vanished. So if you're ever driving alone on a back road, and your radio turns to static, and you see yellow headlights in your rearview mirror, don't speed up. Don't try to outrun it. Pull over. Let it pass. Because if the bridge thinks you didn't stop once before, it won't let you cross twice.